If you're just tuning in to join us for round 5 and 5, this is the 5th round of standard play here at Friday Night Magic at the Game Haven in Riverside, Ohio, where you too can get more for your games.
Yes.
We are Dayton Magic Club. I'm Ryan Johnson in the booth with
Scott Campbell,
bringing you the final round here. The prize payout is what they're playing for here. First place is in the neighborhood of like $55. Second place is in the neighborhood of the high 30s, like $38. And that's the difference here. Both players are undefeated. There are only 2 undefeated. So a nice clean cut. And are definitely playing for first place here. So both players are playing black-white. We've seen Derek on camera. And we know that both of them are playing pack rats. Both of them are playing your standard black-white stuff, right? Like there's blood barons in here. There's obsidats of various kinds and sizes. Some removal spells, some discard spells, big black and white creatures, pack rats. Lewis thinks, I talked to him a little before the match,
okay,
he thinks he's got a slight edge because he has life-bane zombies, which are good at fighting over your blood barons of various kinds.
Or taking away Vermont.
Exactly.
Which we know Derek has.
Yes. So he thinks that's giving him a slight edge. It really, I think, is going to be, if anyone ever gets the defining opener of standard right now, which is Thoughtseize and the Pack Rat.
Yes.
That's going to be very effective here, as it always is. Other than that, it's going to be a scrum. We will certainly see how it goes. But we'll see if Lewis is correct and that Lifebane Zombie is a big player in this matchup, or if Derek Dyer here has something spicy we haven't seen out of him. So,
speaking of big plays, I talked to round 3 winner David Martin in between rounds 4 and 5. And he lost round 4 to Derek Dyer. He got tripped. Double Thoughtseize into duress. Kind of rough.
Means never drew out of that, huh?
No.
A lot of discard these blackjacks have. They're arguably the 2 best discard spells ever printed, both legal here in standard at the same time, so that's awesome.
Plus, Lifebane Zombie is actually a nice choice for the store, like what you mentioned earlier. Very aggressive store, very aggro, mid-range store. Seen a lot of Flukernos on the tables tonight.
We have. We've seen a lot of Flukernos. We've seen a lot of Elvish Mystics. And Lifebane Zombie is certainly good at fighting that kind of strategy. Some would say oppressively good.
Yeah.
But, hey, that's not my judgment to make.
Or as the kids on the street say, it's a hater.
It is indeed. So we got a turn 1 scry at the bottom from Derek. He's going to pass back. And we have a turn 1 scry from Lewis. So we're playing a mirror here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. The true definition of a mirror match. And no turn 2 play. Interesting.
No pack rat.
Ultimate price, maybe?
Answered by pack rat. So, here's the first question, yes. Do you have an answer to my pack rat? The answer is yes. My theory is going to see a lot of creatures die.
I think so. There'll be more death on here than on the set of Game of Thrones. I guess I could make that joke again.
Maybe we have new viewers.
We could. And there's the card we're talking about, Lifebane Zombie.
Yep. And what does it get?
There goes
That's an opposite odds.
Yep. Obi-Wan Nonobi.
That is
no way.
That's a haymaker.
Yes.
Very hard to answer in these decks. Ultimate Price doesn't get it. Bioblade doesn't get it. Not a lot gets it off the table once it gets going. And Lewis getting his first blood in there with that Lifebane Zombie. What do we see here? A Desecration Demon.
Right.
Good in this matchup, but not as good as it is in a lot of matchups due to
Ultimate Price.
So many cards that just say kill on.
Or that was actually Hero's
Downfall. That was a Hero's Downfall, but the deck plays both.
Yeah.
And there might be Devour Flushes somewhere in the 75. I mean, there's a lot of answers to it.
That's true.
I'm curious to see what long game card advantage engines these decks have access to in the 75. Are they playing Underworld Connections? Are they playing Sign Bloods? Any of that kind of stuff to try to make up for all the really brutal attrition that they're going to be fighting back and forth.
That's what I've been thinking about last few rounds is attrition.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of
mid-range.
And this is what we're going to see. I'll kill your Desecration Demon, I'll untap and play a Desecration Demon. It's all about questions and answers. Lewis is now asking the question.
Yes.
And Derek passes back. That could mean an instant removal spell. Could mean that he is temporarily out of removal spells.
It's varying light. I just want to see it. It's varying light.
Just one time. Nope,
No.
instant speed. There it goes.
That's fine.
Both players at a healthy life total as we enter the mid game.
A little bit.
Alright, what do we got? Looks like
we're
dividing up our mana.
Something. Is that Bremaz in here?
There it is. A Bremaz on the table. A good one. Snuck it past the Lifebane Zombie. But
there's a Devour Flesh.
We talked about it. It's here. That's a lot of removal spells these guys
Gain 4 life. I'm actually surprised that neither one is thought seized yet.
That's true.
Again, both players, local, play here a lot, so they kind of know what each other's playing most of the time.
And if you didn't know by now, you know you're playing a mirror match.
Yes. Yeah. Breaking news.
Yeah.
This is a mirror match. Let's see here. Some number of swamps getting tapped for Pack Rat.
Pack Rat with 3 mana up. A dangerous situation. Again, less so in this against this deck as in others. Bioblight is a card.
And that's exactly what was displayed.
Yep, and obviously you can't make a rat in response because Bioblight's still on the stack and you'll just be down a cost.
So good.
So Bioblight definitely.
Hey, it was a thought seed.
Oh, the old turn 6. Right. I was going to get an Elspeth.
Double Elspeth into Hero's Downfall?
Yeah, that's a good hand.
Whew. The sauce.
Best card in Lewis's deck right now, Land.
Yes.
Although, Devante's taking the 1 is a beating because, you never know how long it's going to live. Although we've seen, at least, have we seen 2 Heroes Downfalls out of Derek?
Yep, there's the Underworld
Connections. Yep. Lewis pulling ahead here. Using Underworld Connections to make his land drops. Underworld Connections, a big game in this matchup.
I don't think he'll play the Elspeth until he knows what's in Derek's hand.
Yeah, there's certainly a line for that. There is one where you just jam it out there, make some tokens, and just say, deal with these tokens.
True.
I'm just going to draw a bunch of cards. You're Scry. You don't like it.
All the decisions.
Yep, we got a big one to make. Do we jam out Elspeth here? Do we have another must-answer threat? We do not jam out Elspeth. I think that, like you said, I think that's a wise decision. You're not under any pressure.
No. It's outside the Underworld Connections.
And then we're going to get a peek at the hand right here. No, another.
Oh, wow.
That's a good one.
You think he drew a Gary?
I don't know. I was thinking we were going to see Lifebane Zombie there take a peek at the hand.
Yeah.
But, double Underworld Connection's hard to beat. Bremaz can put a lot of pressure on there, but he's got a lot of draws to a lot of removal spells now.
That is true. Jacob Ross, also a fellow player here at Store, doesn't think Lewis is playing Gary main deck.
A lot of these, when they move to the heavy white version, a lot of them don't. That's kind of one of the cards you give up to get Blood Baron and things like that in the deck.
Yeah, that's true. And how's that?
Yeah. And we'll see. We'll take another draw. That's pretty sweet. I like it.
It is nice.
You get to play a lot of powerful magic cards.
None of which are blue.
That's true.
Or say destroy all creatures.
Lifebane Zombie.
There we go. We know there's a Hero's Downfall and a land.
Yep. So
Elspeth is not safe.
Nope. And we're going to Hero's Downfall on Bremaz.
Pretty good. Devoid him of cat tokens.
Yep. You want to certainly do that.
And pretty much tell him to answer this Lifebane Zombie.
Yep. So you're going to get the beats in with that a little bit.
Oh,
sign of blood. So Derek, I've seen this split, this argument before. I kind of like Sign in Blood if you're not playing Grey Merchant. It just gives you all the cards up front. You can use it as a finisher. Mm-hmm. I can see the appeal. In this particular matchup, the long-term advantage gained by an Underworld Connection when you're going to get more than 2 turns to activate it is probably superior.
Yeah.
against decks with a faster clock, I can see getting all your cards at once as a powerful lure.
You see Sign and Blood or Read the Bones being the top dog as far as black draw spells.
There's another one too in cons.
It's a 4-drop.
It is. I'm not saying it's in the running, but it does exist.
Right.
I like Read the Bones. You get to see a lot of cards.
Absolutely. Especially with all the Scrylands.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to have to jam 8+ Scrylands to effectively play their cons.
Yes.
Is something vanishing lit over here?
Lifebane Zombie got it. No, yeah, Lifebane Zombie.
Interesting.
He was lit up by banishing. Alright, so that's the Desecration Demon. That answers Lifebane Zombie as we spoke about, and now we're going to see Elspeth.
She at least resolves and he can make tokens.
Yeah. Although we might be seeing it as a
board wipe?
6-mana destroy target demon. Nope, we're making tokens.
Yeah. Putting pressure on the board. Because then it's either Hero's Downfall to kill the zombie, or Bioblight to kill the tokens, but he can't kill everything.
Yeah. And of course, Elspeth does a pretty good job of containing Desecration Demon. You just summon soldiers and mercilessly feed them to the monster.
Yes.
We're going to see...
Yep, there it is. And we're going to take... Is that a Blood Baron? Yes.
That's a good Magic the Gathering card.
It is. Wonder how good it will be post-rotation, though.
Well, it rotates. So.
Yes.
My guess is we'll see a lot of it.
Yep, there goes Elspeth.
They're under some pressure here. As Lewis gets to swing in for 5, tap the demon on the way back, and get him down to within we've got a 3-turn clock right now. And that demon, who we have not seen demon be particularly impressive tonight.
No.
People have definitely had a lot of answers to it. I mean, it's certainly powerful, but the format has certainly adapted to the decks that have good answers to it seem to have risen to the top.
Yeah, I don't think Derek round 1 swung with his demon at all against Logan.
And we haven't seen him do a point of damage yet this game either.
Swing with these dudes. Take 6.
5.
Oh, 5? Oh yeah, he tapped 1. My bad.
Yeah, he fed the beast. Lewis dealt himself a lot of damage.
And let's reveal this one.
Alright, we know that Derek is on empty right now.
He's on Unhinged Swamp.
Yep, which is a sweet one.
And let's wonder if he drew another one. I think he did.
We got Hero's Downfall.
And that's probably just game.
Yeah, yep, and Derek agrees. Let's try again.
Yeah.
So, both these decks have some more answers to bring in. I like Lewis's configuration a little bit better. Lifebane Zombie seems fine. The Underworld Connections did a ton of work that game.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know how much you need to really... I mean, you want removal spells, you want all your discard. Like, I don't know what you need to get out of the deck.
He drew, I think, 9 cards?
Yeah.
Extra?
That's hard to beat.
Yeah.
And what we saw from Derek was that Sign and Blood, like I said, I think defensible in a lot of matchups, not as good here.
No.
The opponent is going to get to untap with that Underworld Connection multiple times. So, we'll see. Derek, I don't know if he has anything spicy in his board.
I know he has Whip somewhere. I'm sure it's probably main deck.
I know that Derek won an off-camera game today by Thought Seizing and Obsidat out of his own hand so he could whip it into play.
Oh, wow.
He had 5 mana and needed to whip it into play for the win. I found that line.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. So the guy kind of plays within his range. He knows the ins and outs of this deck. He knows how to find some of the more obscure lines that some players might miss. We'll see if he manages to get a sort of plan going. Not that I think his deck didn't do what it was supposed to do that game. I mean, he removed spells, he had creatures, like it was the whole thing. But
kind of like the theme of the night, where you
yep.
have your mid-range decks if they draw more spells than threats, whereas on the other side, Lewis seemed to draw more threats versus spells, but then compensated for that for threats that do draw those spells.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, probably the number one card in this matchup is Underworld Connections.
Yes.
And it's not some matchup you can jam turn 2 pack rat out there on top of it, and the game is over. This is not one of those matchups.
No.
You're going to need to stick multiple threats before one of them is capable of going the distance, and there's no card better at doing that than Underworld Connections. So I'm going to continue to give the edge to Lewis. I think the games go long enough where it's likely he finds an Underworld Connections, and they go long enough that he's likely to get a lot of value out of it.
Yes.
So now, that's barring something from Derek will be on the play, which means his pot seasons are better than Lewis's. So there's a possibility he gets that real disruptive draw and backs it up with like a Brimaz or something to really take it home quickly, really capitalize on being on a play. I think that's what you kind of have to look for, knowing that you're less favored to win the longer game against your opponent who's capable of outdrawing.
Sin Collector's going to be really good in this matchup.
Sin Collector is a beating.
Yeah.
We have not seen Sin Collector yet.
Yeah.
I'm excited to.
I just hope that whoever plays Sin Collector is playing the original art and not the very creepy art from the FNM promo.
Deal.
That art is scary.
That's another card I haven't played since we could Resto Angel it. I liked Resto Angel in that card.
Oh, Resto Angel is so fun. I mean, she is in Modern, but she got a card from the opponent's hand. She not only gave you a 3/3 beast, but also gave you 5 life.
Yep. Just the gift to keep on giving.
Yeah, she untapped your little blue guy so you can use that last mana to lightning bolt something.
Mm-hmm.
Still does now.
That's probably her primary purpose now.
Yes. She flashed that fairy back in on their draw step so you can take a peek at their hand. And yeah. She does all the things. And what's great to partner her with? Cloud Shift.
Yep.
Did that once against former Dayton, Cincinnati, Ohio resident Adam Kozak at the store when all that stuff was standard legal. I attacked with my Resto Angel and I think the Snapcaster too. Cloud shifted the Angel, which blinked the Snapcaster, which allowed me to play something from the yard. And he's like, oh, well, you got blockers.
All right, so
yes, back to standard because we could talk about Modern all night long. Especially now we're going to have 10 fetches to use.
Yeah, it's very exciting. It would make a big difference.
My pod deck got better.
Yes, sure did.
Let's take out these Rainforest and put in these Heats.
Yeah, all day.
Prices funding though.
Yep. So. Blue, white, red got a lot better too.
Yeah. Esper's now playable.
Yep.
Especially with the new-ish Vindicate.
I've always, in Modern, like, all I ever really want to do in Modern, I know there's a deck that does it, but I haven't played it much. I haven't seen much out of it. All I want to do in Modern is Gifts on Given with Lingering Souls in the stack. That's literally, like, the only thing I want to do in the whole format.
That's awesome.
I just want to gift for, like, Thirst for Knowledge and Lingering Souls, and, like, 2 other random cards, because who cares? Like, alright. We're scrying. We tanked on it. We kept it.
So there must be a gift on top. Speaking of gifts. Oh, there's the Thoughtseize. And
Sign in Blood is in there. Pack Rat, maybe. That's a Obsidat or a Blood Baron on the end. It's a little fuzzy.
It looks like I'm sure it's Obsidat.
Yeah, it's Obsidat. So, you have a decision to make here. You take the hard to beat late game threat, or do you leave him with that and just hope that he doesn't hit the mana, or you can scope the game plan in the intervening turns to beat it. In this kind of matchup, I don't hate taking even sign in blood, depending on how your hand is shaped up to fight the rest of the hand.
Yeah. If he has removal, I mean, he's already got the advantage of with the game win.
Yeah.
If he takes his card draw spell, he's good. But
Yep.
he took Pack Rat.
Took Pack Rat, which is reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, what you're saying is I don't have Bile Blight, so it's going to be hard for me to beat this card right now. I can deal with Obstat later.
Yeah. And we're going to sign a blood.
Yep.
So both players had healthy 18 life.
Yep. Big fan of the turn 2 sign of blood after doing Thought Seize. It deprives your opponent a lot of information, which is one of the benefits of Thought Seizing in the first place.
Yep, they're now 3 cards that he does not know. So, all right, untaps, draw for Derek, and can we get Plains Burmaz or Lifebane Zombie?
Lifebane Zombie out of the board.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, seems good here.
And we have what was it? That was an
Obsidian hit the bin. We have a Devour Flesh, an Elspeth. Looks like maybe he's at a Mutavault.
Is that looks like a deicide there?
Yeah, I think it might be right.
Devour Flesh.
An ultimate price.
And then there's a Bile Blight.
Oh, it's Bile Blight. May have drawn it.
Possibly. And they killed the Lifebane.
Yeah, they're going to kill the Zombie.
And seems fine.
That wasn't his fault. Man, this deck got sweet with it a little bit.
Yeah. Alright, so Duress. Let's take the Elspeth.
That seems
sure that's probably
pretty good. Alright, we've gotten some good ones out of the hand here.
Yeah.
That was a pretty savage sequence.
The graveyard is full of cash value.
Yeah. So, you get Lewis here, whose hand went from really stacked to a little threat light. I can't imagine Mutavault spends a ton of time in the red zone in this matchup.
No.
The risk of ultimate price and Bile Blight and Devour Flesh and all that is just too high for interrupting your mana-based development. Lewis agrees not to send it in.
Yep. He senses the Stone Ring by sending it in.
Yep. You want to make your land drops. You really want to get to 6 mana so you can deploy your really big game-ending threats. And we're going to hit him again with a Thought Seize. That's kind of what we were talking about. I was expecting it like turn 1, 2, 3, but just really tearing apart the hand before committing anything to the board. If that's the kind of draw you have, you know, there's no reason to get aggressive. You're not under any pressure.
Right.
Get maximum information, maximum damage.
Lewis is in desperate need of an Underworld connection to resculpt his hand.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Oh, he's going to send it in.
Decided this is the time. Got to get some pressure on.
And Stone Rain.
I just couldn't kill it fast enough.
No.
So, we're trying to affect the Pack Rat there, or yes.
Okay.
Baited out the Bile Blight with the Mutavault. We've seen enough resources get expended that Pack Rat could really do a lot of work this game. Derek, however, replenishing his hand of 1-for-1s with a timely Sign of Blood. So he's seen 4 more cards this game than Lewis, and does manage to find a removal spell. Lewis, not under any pressure right now, but certainly under the gun. Derek is doing a better job of developing his resources here.
There's a Sin Collector.
Sin Collector whiffs, and we will see Obsidian come down next turn.
Yep.
And that will probably put this one away.
Yeah.
With Lewis in the shape that he's in. Just out of resources, facing the most powerful threat in this matchup. With the possible occasional exception of Elsa.
Yeah. And there it is.
Drain your.
Yep. Life totals exchanged.
We will blink that
away. And pass to you. So,
that is a Devour Flesh. I couldn't quite see it.
We're going to Thoughtseize.
All right.
Interesting.
Okay, here's that ball. Get in there for 2. I don't think I know he doesn't have a 2-mana removal spell. There isn't one that in the deck that kills Obsidat.
Yeah.
Attack in this kind of situation, a little aggressive maybe, but I got to get the points in where I can if I'm ever going to win this game. 5, yeah.
Lewis is not long for this game, so we'll definitely be going to a game 3. The way this is pacing out.
Yep. Leaves. Blood Baron, or yeah, nope.
Yep.
It'd be strange to leave it in play.
A little bit. Granted, he would have it next turn anyway because of Pack Rat mutable activation.
Yep. You can make a rat. She does. Not in the woods yet from Bottle Blight, but that's a Pokemon token.
It is.
Classy.
Is it Pikachu, perhaps? Because Pikachu's a rat, right?
That's true. Could be some other sort of Pokemon rat. I'm not a big Pokemon guy. I'm afraid I don't know. Ethan would know.
Yes, that's true.
Future match contender Ethan Parsons would know.
Yes. Which he did cite out the Fuzzy Charms, by the way.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I got income on that.
Doesn't have a ton of targets. I can see it. So this is probably Lewis says like, well, I'm like dead like 100 times over. All right.
Lewis says response scoop.
Game 3.
Yep.
Lewis back on the play. How important is the play in this matchup? Do you think?
Turn 1 Thoughtseize is pretty good.
Turn 1 Thoughtseize is pretty good.
I've had situations where, again, as a control player going against this matchup, I get hit with turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Duress, turn 3 Sink Collector, and it's just over.
Yep.
And Lewis being at least for this year, I know of, 2-time invitational contender,
yes,
is more likely aware of various situations like that.
Yeah, plays a lot of Magic. Plays this deck a lot. Plays it with pretty good degree of skill.
Maybe Tom the Boss Ross owes Lewis credit because the 2 invitationals that Lewis has been at were won by Tom the Boss Ross.
That is absolutely true. Absolutely true.
We can make that correlation. It's kind of like it's like the Kevin Bacon game.
It's similar.
Yes. It has varying degrees of differences, but kind of different and the same.
Jacob would like to remind us that he, in fact, was at both those invitationals as well.
That is true. Now, Jacob, did you drive the 12 hours there and the 12 hours back? Oh. Okay. So that's 9 hours total.
It's a long way.
Yeah. I did that trip there and back again. A Campbell's Tail. So yeah, there's in my current life as it is now, there's an entire day missing.
Yeah.
Driving from the Dayton, Ohio area to New York.
Yep.
And then back again.
Was it worth it?
We took my daughter to Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
So she graduated high school, got a B in the first semester, B in the second semester. I'm like, I asked for straight A's. I can't bust her chops. So we did that, and she was excited.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thing is, once we got there, my wife and I were like, oh, crap, we can see the Statue of Liberty. We can do this. We can go to the store where Obscura is. And we're like, oops, next time.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah. Lewis, pile shuffling. I'm going to call it deliberately.
Yeah, Kyle and I talked about this the last few times we commentated. We should always be pile shuffling into a number that is not divisible into equally into 60. Like pile shuffle 7 is a common one. That way you have at least 60 cards in your deck if your deck is constructed in that manner.
Yeah.
Some players don't. They want to choose a number to where the opponent cannot guess if they have 60 or not, depending on how they land.
Yeah.
They're piling shuffling 7, but
I just make 5 piles 12. I don't know.
Yeah. So there's some strategy into something like this. Oddly enough, here we are talking about math while watching Magic the Gathering, and although I did bring up fractions earlier, so
Yeah, it is a game of math.
yes. All right. So
Game 3.
Yes, game 3. Lewis on the play.
Round 5.
Yes. Once this is done, we will be 100% completed with standard this evening.
Let's see. Who else was doing well tonight?
David Martin was hoping to go X1.
Yes.
Not sure about Kyle McDaniel.
I know Logan, who was featured playing Rebel Red, is X2 right now going into the final round.
Okay.
His losses are winning, so his tiebreakers will be good. He's hoping to sneak in on breakers.
Backdoor that top 8.
Yep.
I've done that a few times. Go infinite.
All right, both players taking a look at the opening hands here. And both looks like they're keeping. We got the infamous turn 1 Scry keeping on top. Or as I like to call it, land comes to play tap, doesn't do anything.
Right.
Turn 1
and
Thought
there's
Seize.
the Thought Seize. We're going to take the Banishing Light, it looks like? Or is that a deicide?
Looks like Banishing Light is the only legal target.
Got a bunch of mutables.
Yeah. You know, I don't hate this kind of keep in this matchup. It's going to go long. It's going to be attrition-y. You know you're going to make your land drops. You can try to get some beats in where you can. A little risky. If you draw a couple of lands, you could just be dead. But your deck is pretty stacked with removal. Scouts are on top. Probably a spell.
And nothing yet. Oh, there we go. Lands.
Time to make the play this turn. We're just going to jam out the pack rat. Hopefully we'll have the answer.
So this was like one of those things where we could put percentages up. I think Derek now has like an 80% chance of winning.
It was a really strong start. The infamous start. We got the Sync Ledger coming down and choosing between a Hero's Downfall.
Is that a Bioblight, perhaps?
Could be a Bioblight.
Or, no, I think it's Ultimate Price.
It could be, yeah.
Which, obviously, Ultimate Price is terrible right now against Sync Ledger.
But, you know, having it in your hand is reasonable insurance against him untapping and going turn 4. Desecration Demon.
Oh, goodness.
Well, excuse me, this means Derek is going to get to untap a pack rat in play. That is a big game, but of course he needs to make one more after that, and then another one to get out of Bioblight range.
Yes.
Bioblight does quite a number on developing the pack rats. That helps.
A little bit.
Although not all that much, because the Bioblight can just target the Mutavault, shrink all the other rats, and then the Mutavault will die, shrinking the rats again.
Yep. I was just thinking that, actually.
Yeah.
It's the Death of Anthem effect.
Exactly.
Land? Separating lands for some reason.
So Lewis does not just want to pass turn here against an active pack rat.
No. Considering all options here.
Start a land, make a rat. It's a pretty satisfying play.
Yes. Yours is Pikachu. I only know really like first season Pokemons or Generation 1 or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And I just should say Pokemon. I should feel terrible about
that. You're a monster. Now that is a big game.
Yeah, double Mutavaults.
That means you don't have to expose your pack rats to Bioblight anymore ever again. He chooses to by attacking in. Lewis can activate Mutavault, block, and then if you grow, Bioblight.
Yeah.
That's a line. It will kill his Mutavault.
Yes, he would lose
but he's
his own
offering
land.
that up anyway. Now he's forcing Derek to step up. Now Derek could have an instant rule spell.
That's true. I think he would have used it though before the block was declared.
Yes, you're probably correct. I think the attack may have been a little hasty. He may have sensed a little weakness and tried to get in there for some damage.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could have avoided the situation by not attacking for one more turn.
Yes.
But there's something to be said for you got the momentum. Keeping Lewis on the back foot is powerful, but you don't want to give up all your pack rats here. Fighting up his lands for Mutavault activations.
Or
I don't know what that is. Is that an alternate art something?
that was
All this happened before blocks. Okay, it looked like he had indicated a block, but
Yeah.
he had backed it up. Okay.
okay. Interesting. So I guess you can, in that situation, you could name any creature type that besides rat.
Well, no, they have to have the same name, not the same creature type.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
right.
But okay, so that was good. It was a good turn.
Yep. And no other blocks, so
Yeah, that's a good attack if you have the removal spell.
Yeah.
For sure.
Lewis took 4 there, I believe, from the rat.
Yeah, without blocks, he would have taken 4. So now Derek is threatening to end this game very quickly.
Yes.
Especially if he has a land.
Unless somehow Lewis drew another Bioblight.
Derek never has to expose his rats to Bioblight again if he doesn't want to.
No.
Which is a tough spot for Lewis to be in. I like that block from Lewis to try to get Derek to expose his guys. He had the land.
Yep. Go ahead and play the shot land.
The double Mutavault was just such a beating. Basically, Lewis had one turn, and
super aggressive.
Yeah, now we're gonna make a rat. Leaving them both Mutavaults, I would imagine.
I would probably just make the rat with the mana and leave the Mutavaults
on tap. Yeah.
I guess he kind of wants to.
Well, once he, yeah.
Show he has some type of removal, like an ultimate price or Devour Flesh,
sure.
in case Demon comes down. So he pitched. Is that an Obsidian that he threw away?
Yep. He's on the pack rat plan.
Oh man, what if he gets whipped? It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, Lewis is, like we said, okay, that's good.
Bioblight.
Oh, is that a Bioblight? I thought it was an ultimate price. Yeah, Bioblight's not going to do it here unless he's responding.
Yeah, Mutavault, make a rat, and then use the other mana to activate the other Mutavault.
Yep.
And well, would that even work?
Yep.
Because he would lose both Mutavaults. Or no, he doesn't. He's naming rat.
So he doesn't name anything. Bioblight, you don't name a creature.
Oh, okay.
It affects creatures of the same name. Gotcha. You don't name a creature. You don't name a creature type.
So
now what's going to happen?
The original pack rat died.
Yeah, but he still was left with 4 rats. Yeah.
I've only heard of this. Again, being a control player, I don't play pack rats in standard, so.
And you just wrap them away.
Yeah.
Blue-white control, the best anti-pack rat deck in the format.
And there's the Desecration Demon, like I was thinking that he had. Now, even if he still has ultimate price in hand, that card is just completely dead. You just get in there with rats involved and do it.
Yep.
Let's see what we shall see. Looks like there is at least a spell of some sort in Derek's hand. No, I think you just want to activate one here.
Possible.
Leave the other one back for defense in the event that we get on this Bioblight shenanigans thing again.
Yeah. Makes a rat. You can attack for 8 here. But, obviously Demon gets to eat one.
Yeah.
So, removal spell would be, like, the best card.
It would be ideal, however, he could just draw cards to make rats to tap Demon at least.
You also can take a hit from Demon.
Yes.
If you need to. Like, Lewis can't attack or he's dead. So eventually, if you just keep making rats, you'll overwhelm it. So, he's in pretty good shape. He's in the driver's seat. He's going to choose to make a rat here. It looks like could be Hero's Downfall, but I think he's for making a rat.
Yeah, pitch and Sign of Blood to make a rat, and then sack to the Demon. And then, I think if he had Ultimate Price, I think he would have killed it this turn instead of just sacking a rat. So he's going to get in there for
8.
A bunch of punch.
You expose yourself to Bile Blight. Lewis has 1 turn to draw it.
Right.
And this combat, that I have no problem with not sacrificing the guy here. How do you your worst? I don't think he has the Bile Blight.
No. I think that would have come down before we got to Demon triggers.
Yes, I would agree with that. I don't know how many Bile Blights are left in his deck. I imagine a bunch. He has all of them, but I don't know how many he's cast.
Is there an Urborg on the board?
I believe so.
So this Mutavault's tapped for black.
That's wonderful.
That helped Derek out quite a bit here in this matchup. Let's see here. Separating some mana, maybe?
Yeah, we got spells to cast. We got things to do. Don't want to get blown out here.
Right.
You want to take your time and investigate your lines. I think what we end up doing is making pack rats and attacking, but a removal spell could reverse this winning position if you're not careful.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to make a rat. More likely, just sack it to tap the Demon.
Yep. That's exactly what's going to happen here.
And I think he makes the rat. He has to then go to combat to put that trigger on. So if Lewis does not have an answer, that kind of gives Derek information that maybe Lewis just simply does not have a removal spell in hand.
Yep. And here we go. This is it. You are dead without a response. We're tapping some mana. We're
going to Hero's Downfall. Interesting.
Take a look at that. Alright, yeah.
So take 1.
And let's reactivate Mutavaults. Which looks like maybe we are doing. Activate Mutavault. But not the other one?
That would seem awkward if that's all he did. But that's fine. Very peculiar. But if he gets rid of the rat, he's dead to... Well, you can just sack the rat and swing with Mutavault.
Well, you need to remove the rat there, so he didn't have that opportunity, but he did not. I believe what Derek was doing there was playing around Bile Blight on Mutavaults.
Yeah. There's a timely Hero's Downfall.
Right on time. Then yes, that one.
Yep.
We're just probably going to go for it here, because I can't think of a good reason not to.
Right.
And that'll do it.
Derek Dyer wins Standard.
The old-fashioned way. Turn 1, Thoughtseize. Turn 2, Pack Rat. 5 turns later, through everything you can do, you're dead.
Right.
So that makes Derek Dyer our sole undefeated player.
That's correct.
He is our standard FNM champion, 5-0. I believe first prize is $55 in store credit here at the Game Haven.
Where you get more for your games.
For you too, you can get more for your game.
$55 more.
I suppose so.
Probably using that for cons when that comes out.
Unexcitingly, our two finalists were both Packrat Thoughtseize decks.
Yes.
And one of them obviously was the winner. That's all right. It was well played. It's an intricate matchup in the mirror, especially. So it was a good match. It was fun to watch, even though the cards themselves were a little stale. A little last hurrah with the most powerful archetype in standard before it rotates. You will, in fact, be losing Packrat, which is a big deal.
It's making waves in Vintage from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. So, once again, we're broadcasting live from the Game Haven in Riverside, Ohio. We are Dayton Magic Club, and we want to thank you for watching our tournament tonight. We'll be back here. We'll be back broadcasting next week. I don't know where we'll be for sure yet.
But check Dayton Magic Club website.com. Yes, it's all one word, Dayton Magic Club website.com for details on where we will be and where other tournaments are in and around the Dayton area. For Ryan, this is Scott. And you can also check us out on the forums.DaytonMagicClubWebsite.com. Again, that's forums.DaytonMagicClubWebsite.com. And we thank you for watching, and have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. Actually,
yes.
Before we
I'd forgotten about that. That's my fault. Thank you, Jacob. Noah Ross is hosting this, and that will be November 12th. Autism Speaks charity event.
It's going to be here at the Game Haven.
Yes.
Scott, the owner of the Game Haven here, has agreed to not only host the tournament, but he's donating a bunch of prizes. We don't have the prizes officially locked in yet that I know of, but they'll be big. It's going to be a big event that we're putting on. Dayton Magic Club is presenting it, and we are going to be doing coverage for it. We'll be doing door prizes for it. We'll be doing a raffle, big tournament. So keep your eye on DaytonMagicClubWebsite.com. Keep your eye on TheGameHaven.com
yes.
for information about events here. And definitely look for more details about the Autism Speaks Charity Tournament as we come up with them. It's still kind of a work in progress. It's our first large charity tournament we look forward to. We look forward to doing a lot more. So, thanks for watching, guys. Definitely watch this space for more regular tournament coverage.
Yes, and keep watching for the cons previews. I'm sure that all things will be spoiled before we reconvene this time next week for more Magic action. Check out those websites, and we'll see you next week.